Hi YouTubers, my name is Amanda, aka Closet Soldier on YouTube.
And this is Gene. I have no alias.
Okay, so I just wanted to come and share some of the ways that God kind of deals with me and with him, and how I spend a lot of time in my prayer closet. And sometimes I use my time to tell God I want him to show people who he really is. I want him to reveal himself. I want him to shake people to their core. I want him to get people's attention. And this was something that I had prayed for a few different people. And on September 19th, 2016, I started we started a 7-day fast. And on my first day of fast, I always write down my petitions that I want the Lord to do for me during this fast. And so he doesn't ever know what my petitions, well, I mean, he does sometimes, but some of them.
This particular time I did not.
This particular time he didn't know. So my petition I wrote down on September 19th was that God would begin to reveal himself to Gene in a powerful way. And when I write these petitions and I pray about them with the Lord, I'm pretty aggressive, and I'm just like, Lord, I want you to shake them up, stir them up, da-da-da, like, get them, like get them, God, get them. and so I don't really ever tell him when I'm doing that. So I did that on this particular day, and that night, he can tell you what happened.
So that was day 1 of the fast. And we actually just realized that the days synced up. So we didn't realize that until just now, we didn't realize that the dream that I had was the first night of the fast. We didn't put that together. And that her petitioning, her praying was that day. So I woke up at 6 o'clock on the dot, and without an alarm. This was 6 on the 20th, and I had this dream that it was a family of 4. I felt like it was us, but I also felt like it was a white family, so I'm not sure if it was us or it was like a third party type thing, but it felt like it was us, or I was watching us. And in the basement, we were in our home, but in the basement, there was the whole basement from floor to ceiling was underwater. It was totally submerged. And there was a dog on a chain. So when you went downstairs, you'd be underwater, you could see the dog, and it would fight for its life. It was like, drowning basically. But at some point it would stop and stare at you, and its little paw would do like a thumbs up or a thumbs down like Caesar. And it was kind of like scary feeling. It was almost like it saw your soul. And I felt like it was really weird. So I got up out of there. We were upstairs.
Didn't you say like heaven was up and hell was down?
Well, I don't know that. I'm saying.
That's what you felt?
Yeah, I felt like it was judging you. So we were outside, and I was just thinking about this thing, and it kind of shook me up. And the house was near Mount Rushmore, but in the dream it wasn't Mount Rushmore. It was like all the faces were skulls. It wasn't the actual presence there. It was like the skull representation of them. And I was outside, and we were out in the patio, and I was just thinking to myself, who would make that? Like, how does it even exist? Why is it there? And in my head, I heard a response that said, I did it. And I was like, who said that? And it felt like my gut was telling me it was coming from the skull, Abe Lincoln. And I looked up and I was like, was that you? Did you say that? And he said, yes. Like, is the actual mouth is moving at this point. And it said, do you really think the world can survive with all the adulteries it commits? And I was like terrified. I was just like the feeling, the voice, it was big, it was booming, it was scary. And I was terrified, and I just started rebuking it because it was a skull speaking. So, typically, like, we associate that with death or with Halloween or something like that. So I was just rebuking it, and it wasn't doing anything. And then that was pretty much the end of the dream. I woke up, and I was explaining it to her. And then as we kind of broke down what it said, when it said, do you really think the world can survive with all the adulteries it commits? We were like, that doesn't sound like something the enemy would say. That's not, obviously the enemy wants you to idolize or have other idols and, be chasing money or whatever the case may be. Wants you to not focus on God. So to say something like that probably is not the enemy. So, and then obviously throughout the Bible there's the word adulteries and talking about Israel and the Israelites and Babylon. And then she pulled up a scripture. It was almost, she had just recently read it. I think you had just recently read this scripture.
I had heard adulteries in the Bible several times.
Well, it comes up several times, but I'm saying this particular scripture.
Well, I'm saying I had freshly read something like this. And as soon as he said it, I was like, that's God's language. That's how God speaks. Like, it was automatic, and I just was like, yeah, right. God heard my prayer. He's doing it. Like, he's doing it. And so, yeah, this was one of the scriptures that I was directed to. One of the seven angels who had the seven bowls.
And this is Revelation 17:1.
Okay. One of the seven angels who had the seven bowls came and said to me, come, I will show you the punishment of the great prostitute who sits by many waters. With her the kings of the earth committed adultery, and the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with the wine of her adulteries. So yeah. So I was quite excited.
I was scared.
He was terrified. He really thought the devil was coming to get him. But I knew I had just made this petition, and I just knew God answered me, and he usually does. And it's really neat to like, you guys, you have to write down your dreams. You have to write down the dates and the times and all of that, because we really, until now, we didn't realize that I had made the petition that day, and he had the dream.
I don't know how you didn't put that together that night.
I don't know. And then the other dream was the night before. This was the same day of my dream.
Yeah, the spider dream was the 18th.
So yeah, write your stuff down, because
and you'll see in a couple other videos too. There's that. I've had 3 dreams that all have been. One was that I woke up at 6, this one, 6 on the dot. Another one, the alarm woke me up at 6, but it was another odd dream. And then another one fairly recently was that I woke up at 5:51, I think it was. So it was all like right around that 6 o'clock hour.
And
I don't know if it means anything. But
yeah, I've had a couple that were.
Maybe that's just when I'm REM sleep or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll gotta pray about that.
Oh, what really shook me up about the dog, and that's what really got me kind of scared, was that it did a thumbs down at me. I didn't like that. Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't like that.
Dang, I don't like that either. Dang.
Yeah, so I repented that morning. Quite a bit.
See, God is good. Well, we just wanted to share that quick little thing. But stay tuned because we have a bunch more things, and our stuff is usually kind of connected in some sort of way. So yeah, so we'll record some more of our stuff. We just want to show you guys how awesome God is. And you guys be blessed. Peace.